But what are considerate acts?
Yes, by both the younger and older generation.
I think they are common to all. Once you are thinking of other people and you put other people first, then you always think of what makes other people happy, what makes it more pleasant for other people, what is it that will create a better environment for everybody rather than just for yourself. So if I go to a hawker center and after I eat my food, first of all, when I go to the hawker center, if I find a table that is clean, it makes me feel good. If I find a table that's not clean, I will feel like, why are people so inconsiderate? So in the same way that I expect people to be considerate to me, I should be considerate to others. So when I finish my food, I should try to find where the return tray area is, if there is one, and I should put all my stuff in the tray and bring it back. Then I leave the table. In fact, I should use my tissue and wipe the table, better still, make it cleaner. When the next person comes, will feel very good about it. That is being considerate. On the other hand, if I eat and then I put my chicken bone here, the duck bone there, all kind of spill my sauce all over the place, and I walk away, the place is so messy. I'm not being considerate. So do to other people what you want other people to do for you, correct? So if everybody think like that, then our environment, our surrounding will be cleaner, more hygienic. Things will also move faster. See, the cleaners will not have so much cleaning to do, then the seats will be more quickly available. If 50 tables are also untidy, the poor cleaner has to do 50 tables. You have to wait your turn. Whereas if everybody does his part or her part, then the cleaner can do the work much faster. So it's good for everybody.
So basically, the views on the acts of consideration would actually be similar between both younger and older generations.
I should think so. Yeah. Except that if you are younger, especially if you are on MRT, you have a priority seat, right? And priority seats, you have the picture that shows an old man with a tongkat, a pregnant woman, right? And somebody with a pair of crutches. Then, of course, if you're a young person, that seat is not meant for you because it's a priority. That means it's given first priority to all those people that are pictured there, and the young person is not pictured there. So obviously, it's not meant for young people. So if you're a young person and you're considerate, then you say, oh, that seat is not meant for me. You shouldn't be sitting there. In fact, if you're going to be so considerate as a young person, when all the seats are occupied in your area, including the priority seat, there's an older lady sitting there. Now a young pregnant lady comes up and you are sitting on an ordinary seat. If you are really considerate, what should you think you should be doing?
Give up the seat.
Yeah, because you're a younger person. You can hold on to the bar. You can sway with the bar. But the pregnant lady, if she falls, then some accident may happen to her baby, which can be a very dangerous thing, right? So we want to be considerate. Then we say, hey, lady, miss, Mrs., whatever, you need the seat. Here is your seat. Please take it. And that is being considerate.
What are the factors affecting the level of consideration among the youth in Singapore?
That was a question I was going to ask you, because you are the youth. I'm not the youth, right? Right? And Gerald, you're laughing. Don't you think so? That should be something. What about you? What do you think? What are some of the factors that make people like that?
Because of the education level.
Meaning?
Maybe some people were not educated, like as we find out from the surveys.
Oh.
Yeah,
so some of the younger people are not educated, not as well educated.
Yeah, in terms of consideration.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
I think there's over-reliance on others, like example, children having to rely on their parents or the maids to do their stuff, and that in turn results in a lack of consideration.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. I think that my generation, when I was growing up, we didn't have, I don't want to call them maids, I call them domestic helpers or helpers. We didn't have helpers. So our parents told us that we must clean up after ourselves, we must do everything ourselves, we must clean our own room, make our own bed. But these days, young people are spoiled, right? Because they have all these helpers doing all the cleaning up, so they get used to it, right? So they expect everybody to be doing things for them, right? So I think that is part of the problem. I agree with you. Averyl is right. Averyl, yeah, I think there is a problem with domestic helpers, that we pay them so they do everything for us, so we don't have to do anything. Those are good reasons. What other factors, Jeremy? What do you think?
I think another factor will actually be because youth these days are more and more self-centered and they do not want to spare a thought for others. So they
But
only
what
have
happened?
themselves.
Why have they become self-centered? What happened?
I think it's because of the mindset the people have, because like a lot of them are pursuing for academic excellence. So then when they are pursuing for academic excellence, then they will actually like think that because the parents actually want them to do well, so they think that the whole world actually revolves around them, and then they will be self-centered. They expect maybe their parents to actually do the simple house chores or maybe making their own bed and washing the dishes so they can study more or something like that.
In other words, the whole idea about succeeding academically, doing well, getting straight A's and all that, has driven us to focus only on doing well for ourselves. And then you say, oh, I don't have enough time to do all the other thing, I must put all my time in my study. And so as a result, we have become selfish in the sense that we only think about our own success. We forget about other people. That is also a good factor. Other factors would include the fact that we have become our population has grown much bigger. And as a result, I think there is not just competition in terms of doing well and so on, but I think there's also competition for space. I mean, when there's a crowd, you always think that unless I rush there first, I may not get a space. I might not get a seat. So there's always this mentality that I must get there first. So every time you think about getting there first, you forget about other people. Right? So that's why when people walk very fast, sometimes when you open the door for your friend, they also walk past. They didn't think that somebody else opened the door. They think the door opened by itself. They just go past. They never turn around and say, hey, thank you. Nothing. Right? Because they're in a hurry, so they are rushing. The other reason could be that today we have people from different countries, and when people come from different countries, they bring with them different ideas about things, about behavior. Sometimes they are not aware that we have certain culture here, and they're not aware, so sometimes they behave in a way that looks to us like inconsiderate.
How do these factors actually affect the level of consideration among youths?
Well, like I said, if we, for example, the last point I made, if we come from different countries, for example, where we don't have MRTs, let's say in certain countries, so when they come here, they take the MRT, they may not be aware that in our culture we reserve seats for different people who have needs. So maybe in their own country they don't have this rule, so they are not aware. So they automatically sit wherever there is an open seat, right? So that's how it may be affected. Like I said just now, if you're only concerned about getting there quickly, be there first, then of course in your rush you're not aware of what's happening around you. Okay. I should also add that today young people have iPhone, iPad, MP3. Last time they have Sony, but Sony is out of fashion already, right? Sony Walkman. talkers only, right?
Yeah.
Now the iPad, iPhone, I don't know what it is. Then they play games, then they are so absorbed. So sometimes when they are absorbed in their game, in all the texting to each other and laughing at the jokes and playing football and playing Angry Bird, of course they're not aware of all the other people around them, right? So when you are not aware, somebody may have a need you don't know. Somebody may need a seat you also don't know because you are also absorbed. So I think that is also a very big reason.
How can some of these factors that make some of these youths inconsiderate be overcome?
By reminding them. So we have all kinds of advertisements, posters, poems, jingles. In school, we have programs in school, Friend of Singer program, getting students to, young people to get together as a team, working on projects, to remind other students as well, to do something kind and considerate. I think all of us, including you, when you get up on the MRT, you should also help to get seats for people who have need. So if you happen to stand there and then one of the younger guys sitting in the reserved seat, you should not be afraid to say to the young man or young girl, excuse me, this lady is in need of a seat. Do you mind please give her the seat because she's an older person? I think the sign says reserved for priority seats. So please, if you ask them nicely with a smile, I believe they will give up the seat because they may not be aware that somebody needs a seat. So in that way we can change their behavior. You yourself can set the example when you're sitting on the non-reserved seat and when the whole train is full or the bus is full, you get up. It's cool to be kind. So you get up and you ask the older gentleman, uncle, you say, uncle, please take my seat. Then everybody there watching you, they give up the seat. So by doing that, you are actually helping people to understand that it is cool to be kind and considerate.
Also, is there a specific trend between the level of consideration in the younger generations against the older generations?
Trend, I think, according to our last survey, actually the trend is that the baby boomers, people born after the war, have been consistently quite kind. And then the generation Y are also growing to understand that they should be kinder. That means they are more sensitive, they are more aware. Yeah, so there are some small differences. Generally, the kindness level actually in Singapore is getting a little better generally. Of course, there's always room for improvement.
Is there a reason why there's such a specific trend?
I know. I guess maybe baby boomers like us. I'm a baby boomer. We were born after the war. Maybe after the war, everything was very sad. Everything was destroyed. After the war, earning a living was difficult, and so many people have to start over again after the war. So maybe all those of us who were born after the war, we understand what hardship is. We are not spoiled. See, we are not spoiled. We don't have the use of domestic helpers. We don't have any of that. And so we have to do everything ourselves. So we learn how to be thoughtful. And when you are poor, then, if you only have so much food, if you eat all of it, then your brothers and sisters got nothing to eat. So you have to be thoughtful. Think of your brothers, think of your sisters, think of your parents. But today, there is another factor. Maybe wealth, because we got lots of money. Many of the young people, I don't know about you, but they have credit cards, they have big cash in the pocket. They can buy anything they want. They can walk into a shop and have a big meal. And so, because you have everything, again, you don't think of other people. But when you have very little and you have to share what you have, then you have to think of other people.
Other than, as you previously said, that actually we can actually improve the level of consideration through reminding each other, are there any other ways that we can improve the level of consideration among youth?
I'm hoping to get people who want to be considerate to come together, maybe even in school, for example. Like three of you, you are concerned about considerate, not considerate. That's why you started this little project. I'm sure among your friends, when you talk to them, survey, there are people also like you who feel that it's a good idea to help become more considerate themselves and other people. Maybe we can have a kindness club. Of course, a kindness club doesn't have to meet every week or every month. Maybe once in a couple of months, the kindness club can meet in the school, and they get more like-minded students together. Then think about ways to do kind things. Maybe plan like maybe this holiday, instead of just having lots of fun going around the world and all that with your parents, maybe one holiday we can plan to go out together and do something for the poor. You see, we do something for the poor. Maybe we can go and offer help to some of the poor people that we see. Maybe their house, they need somebody to come and help clean the house, or and they're old, and the children are not in town or whatever, or sick. They can do something. Do some volunteer work and help all these people. Now, that's one way to help each other to be kind. In other words, kindness breeds kindness. When people are kind, you inspire other people to be kind. Good company also helps, because if you're in a company of people who are kind, generally you also learn to be kind. Correct? So you can actually form a little club and do kind things, helping other people. What else can you do to learn about being considerate and kind? Be part of the kindness movement. Go and check into our Facebook, like our Facebook. Go to our website, and then be our regular visitor. Then when you find a story, if you go around and you saw something that's really kind and considerate, maybe you want to write a story about it and then send it to us so we can post it. So you become our reporters, and you can help to tell stories of kindness. Those are very good things to do. Yeah. Anything else you want to ask me?
Are there any some of the surveys or research that Singapore Kindness Movement actually done, and what if there are, what are the questions and research? What are the questions and results gathered?
Yeah, our index, our graciousness index, is an annual thing that we do. We just did ours recently, and into our third year. And some of the questions asked are: have you received an act of kindness recently? Have you received an act of kindness? Have you done an act of kindness for somebody? Do you feel, or do you observe that the society is becoming kinder? That's your observation. So those are some of the questions we ask. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I am very encouraged when young people like you, on your own, think about consideration and kindness, and you want to find out more. That encourages us, because it tells us that even young people like you can make a big difference. And we want to see more young people and older people and everyone wanting to take responsibility and own kindness. Make kindness part of your life. It's not somebody else's responsibility, it's yours. Even if the whole world is not kind, you have a responsibility to be kind. And that is a good thing. Thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.